We got Doug Stanhope outside the door.
Yes.
Coming in, joining the program. He's dressed all nice.
Interestingly.
Yeah, he dresses like that now, man. He dressed like that when he was doing your
Yes.
Here he is.
antisocial. Doug Stanhope.
Hey, Doug.
Got a suitcase with him.
Why do you got a suitcase with
Came
you?
right from the airport, didn't you?
Are you running away, Doug?
That was from the anti-social virus tour in Atlantic City last time I saw you.
Oh, your merch.
Yeah, I left merch that
Oh.
Kenny has kept this whole time.
Wow.
That's a year.
It's over a year. It's a year and a half.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so he just gave it to me, and I thought it would be fun to carry it in.
That is a long time.
Yeah.
You didn't want anyone to ship it to you?
It's DVDs I don't really give a shit about.
All right. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I really needed it.
How are you kids?
No,
We're good.
fucking couldn't be better.
You're a zany
Amazing.
dresser, man. You
Yeah,
got a
no,
look.
I've gone
Doug Stanhope's got a
full
look.
tilt on old leisure suit shit.
Yeah, that's like old leisure suit.
I'm old
yeah.
enough now that people don't know if you're kidding. Like,
Right.
if I was 25, I remember
yeah.
I used to have a suitcase. I don't know if you remember this, Norton, but I came to New York City one of the first times I came here, and I had an old suitcase like that. But
Flowered?
It was
Yes.
yellow flowered
Yes.
suitcase. And I go, I'm going to New York City. I'm going to, like, a handle bag.
Oh, my
like
God.
a Pan Am flight attendant would have.
Walking around
And I
New
was-
York City.
And I was skipping. I remember I was going to take this and I'm going to skip through New York City, and I did.
Just looking
But
like
back
a
then
mark.
You look, oh, he's trying.
You were
But now
early-
that I'm old, I can wear a fucking 70s suit like this, and people go, I don't think he's fucking around.
It doesn't
No.
look bad on you, though. I mean,
like
it's
the
you.
wide
It's all right.
lapel is good. The color
Bright
is,
yellow shirt and a kind of a yellowish striped tie and a brown and white checkered pair of slacks, a pair of white
Slacks.
kegs, and kind of a...
Yeah, that's the problem. I had to wear the Converse because I had to walk down here, and I felt,
Well, why-
I'm not wearing the fucking Stacey Adam.
Why describe
white
it when we
moccasin
can...
that I
white
would wear with
bucks.
this.
What about the old white loafers, right?
Yeah, that's what I usually wear,
Yeah,
but I had to
yeah,
walk here, so I put on the fucking
Doug,
Converse.
why
would hurt.
describe it when we can tweet it? Give me
Exactly.
stand up for a second. Stand up
Tweet
for a
it.
second. All right, here we go.
We're going to be
Where-
tweeting a lot. I have something. I'm fucking. Oh, I can't wait.
I've yeah,
happened?
I follow you absolutely. Fucking great.
Yeah, but you don't respond to the fucking direct message when I said, "Hey, can I come in the 5th or the 6th?"
You know what? Fucking direct. I miss so many direct messages because I just scroll. Like, I'll cut out entire chunks of Twitter. Like, if I go to sleep and then I wake up, I'm not going to go through like
I
that
know,
many. So I just and I'll go like, I'm starting my Twitter life at this hour.
A
I'm forgetting
confident
everything.
me would say I do the same thing, but the usual day-to-day
Right.
me goes, "Oh, they hate me. Finally, they caught on.
No,
they
we
don't
fucking
want
love
me
having you on.
anymore."
No, of course not.
Yeah. How's where are you from?
Worcester, Massachusetts. That's why I'm like, I'm yelling at Roland when you're talking about the fucking bomber guy. Put me in.
Put me in. Put me in.
I want to talk about
I'm
this.
from there.
Yes, I'm from Worcester. I made
I thought
some
you were from, what,
goofy
Bisbee,
comment
or-
on.
No,
Oh, I
he's
live
living
in
in
Bisbee, Arizona, but I'm
Bisbee.
from Worcester,
Oh, okay.
Massachusetts, where the fucking bomber's body is.
Yeah.
And it's such a silly. Who gives a shit what you do with the remains? It has nothing to do logically with what. We'll bury him outside of the Boston area. Where is that? Where do you draw that line? Northampton? And they're going to go, what? We're the fucking piece of shit? What
I mean, get him out of Massachusetts in general.
Okay, so you
Just go
over
somewhere
the border.
else. Right.
The point is, it doesn't matter. It's a dead.
It's
fucking
just meat. Yeah,
it's not
rotting
even
meat now.
It's
Yeah.
waste.
Yeah.
It's just product.
Everything that made him the
But
bad
here's
guy
the thing,
is kind of
CNN. My father died. Like everyone does. He's meat, he's waste, he means nothing. We have him in a cup of ashes that my brother keeps for, just in case we want to Keith Richards snort it with Coke one day for funny. But he had a cemetery plot in Paxton, Massachusetts, Worcester suburb, that we never buried him in. Who gives a fuck? We're not going to go through some stupid ritual.
Right.
And drive out there to leave flowers for no reason. We have a cemetery plot that is available for free for the meat that used to be a guy accused of bombing the fucking Boston Marathon. We are giving that up. It's at the Worcester County Memorial fucking Cemetery place in Paxton, Massachusetts, where we had to live for 3 years as kids, where they fucking hated us and we hated them. They're all the kids who wore Levi corduroys when we were still in tough skins, and it's just this piece of shit, snotty fucking cunt town where we had to fucking... All the hate that I have in comedy is rooted somehow in this town. Paxton, Massachusetts. Like, the people that you know you hated and you felt belittled by. You don't know names. You don't remember events.
It's just
but
the
you know
entire...
just that 3 years where my mother was married to that cocksucker, that we had to live in this shitty town. Yes, I want to smite you by putting the fucking... And I'm dead serious. I called my brother. He looked it up at 6:30 this morning to find out the name of the cemetery. We'll fucking bury you in my dad's plot. Suicide bomber guy. It's fucking on the table.
Dumped in there, yeah.
No shit.
Call the press.
Yes.
Call AP.
And we have to... All we have to do is use the Doug Stanhope... This is where that idea came from. The Doug Stanhope Celebrity Death Pool. We have a logo that came from the idea where my brother and I are saying, hey, we still have Dad's cemetery plot, and there's nothing in it. We're not going to bother putting his ashes in there. He doesn't care. We don't have, like, an extended family that has reverence for the dead. Let's go put a gravestone that says "I'm with stupid" with the finger pointing up. Just
that's pretty good.
Other people.
Yes, that would be very offensive.
So if I can use that gravestone, yes,
that would be very offensive.
Well,
does anyone know how to pronounce that name yet?
Not really.
Oh, no.
Everyone's trying.
No.
Yeah.
He'll never go down in history.
No, it's not a Lee Harvey Oswald.
Exactly.
That's easy.
He has no middle name.
John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah. Once you have a name with two names that are that difficult to pronounce, you don't try to throw the middle name in.
Tamerlan Stanhope.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
The brother's a harder one because it's a Zukar or some shit, DHZ, DKZ.
Oh, it's
but this is a little
crazy. Yeah, even fucking Timothy McVeigh. It's an easy name. You know.
Can we get the guy from the funeral home on the horn?
Oh, let's. You know what?
Come get him over there.
Let's do that.
Here's why they don't want it though, because they get the vandalism. They know that they're afraid
Doesn't
there's gonna
matter.
be
We own
vandalism.
that fucking plot. That's real estate.
You can put whatever you want in there.
I'll make a court battle out of it. My dad paid good hard money for that chunk of 6x4 or 6x3. I don't know what size
It is odd
he
that a
was.
cemetery could really dictate what gets buried in there when all you're burying is fucking the waste product of a life.
Right.
Yes, and they have a say like, no,
It's
no.
biodegradable. It's green.
Do you know who he used to be? I'm not putting him in here.
Hey, do a Google search of all the other horrible people that are buried in Massachusetts, maybe right under your feet.
Yeah,
There's a lot
exactly.
of them.
There's probably some pretty bad motherfuckers.
Wait, we got to get the funeral home on the line.
Yeah.
I want to have a
It wouldn't be an
conversation with the
issue
guy.
if the media didn't make it an issue.
Right.
It's not like anyone was sitting around going, what are they going to do with the body? Well, let's put on CNN to find out what they're going to do with the body.
What about that
you
guy?
You wouldn't give a fuck. They made you give a fuck, faggot. Yeah, you sit there like a fucking pimple going, oh, I don't know what to hate. Oh, CNN just told me. What are they going to do with the body? I was worried about that myself.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That's why I'm drinking this morning. Every time I come in here, I come in as the wrong person. I'm selling the wrong show because I come in sober. I get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
I got to do O&A tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why don't I get to bed by 1 in the morning?
Right.
Oh, no. Fuck that. I come in all sheepish. I go, I'm never going to be as funny as Norton. That's all I think about every time I do your show. He's fucking tweeting the whole time on the show. He's sitting there texting and tweeting, and then still aside out of the corner of his mouth, the funniest comic you've ever been around live, and he's not even paying attention. And I just sit here sober going, well, this morning
that's not
I
coffee
came in
in there.
fucking hammered.
And that's not coffee in there, huh?
Yeah, no, this is, that's a
What are you drinking?
Ruby red grapefruit with, 3 shots of vodka.
Oh.
Well, piecemealed out. I'd drink some, and then I'd put a little more
you put a little more
grapefruit,
in.
a little more vodka. So I don't
The mix
know.
as you drink
I
kind of a
don't
thing.
know.
Yeah.
God bless you.
It's the
you sleep
sweet
last night?
spot. Yeah, I did.
Hey, where the fuck is that guy in Massachusetts buried that fucking
Worcester,
killed his wife and then fucking said
Charles-
the black guy did it?
Yeah,
and then jumped
What
off
was-
the fucking bridge.
To the Charles River.
Yeah.
Well, what was the
guy.
guy's name?
Yeah.
Charles Stewart?
Charles Stewart, yeah.
Yeah, I want the outrage. Call in with your
Where is he
outrage
buried?
about that guy being buried.
Yeah,
near
good
your
point.
relative or in your state, you
Let's
fucking
get the
asshole.
funeral
He
home on
doesn't
the
sound like a
line.
very nice fellow.
Which kind?
What funeral home is it?
Let's listen to the stories.
It's in all the stories. Let me see.
God damn it. If I could call my brother and get some names of fucking kids from Paxton Center School that were such dicks. Like, my brother went through some serious shit. And I'm like, in the last year, I go, give me names. I'm going to fucking find these people.
I'm finding them.
Hold on.
It's good to have lists.
Hold on, we're going to try to get this done. So it's Graham, Putnam, and
Right,
Mahoney
got it.
Funeral Parlor in Worcester.
And the guy
We
is
wanna
like
get
a
him on the
saint
line.
in Worcester. If you read about the guy has gone out of his way to bury poor people, like people who are indigent, a lot of Hispanics, and they have a lot of reverence for that whole fucking Catholic shit.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do this.
A lot of ritual
This is
need
where
to
my
be done.
people- Yeah, this is where my dad got his fucking catheter when he had cancer. It's not
God.
sacrosanct land,
Yeah.
fucking idiot. This doesn't matter.
They took care of him according to Muslim rule, I guess, the father or something.
No, the
Is it?
uncle.
No,
No,
the
the
uncle.
uncle.
The uncle took care of him.
The uncle
and
had to wash
and
him.
washed the body. You got to wash.
You gotta wash
his
it.
genitals.
Well, yeah, that's what they did with Osama bin Laden, allegedly.
yeah.
Like, we gave him a respectful funeral. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Well, what does this guy have to do? Kill
Right.
more people?
Yeah.
But if you're responsible for washing the body, are you going to do a good job? You're going to
You're
make sure he has
supposed to.
a clean asshole.
You got to wash his
and-
balls and asshole of the dead terrorist guy.
You're going to wash on
Ah.
the scrotum and around the scrotum.
Yeah,
and the
you got to
thighs.
lift it up. Get under the undercarriage.
Yeah.
There, you got.
Are you going to do a good washing if that was your job,
No,
you think?
I'm not. It's not my fucking religion. It's not my business.
No, I'm just saying if you had to.
Would you do this
never.
just if you were, say, washing like Bin Laden's body, even if you're not gay at all, just to kind of humiliate it? Would you lean over and suck the dick a little?
Oh,
Jesus.
I thought you were going to go with poke his hiney with
I
a
would do
finger.
it in a Lindsey England kind of way. Fucking Abu Ghraib kind of way.
Right,
Thumbs up,
right.
dick in the mouth,
Yeah.
thumbs up
She
on a
looked like-
Polaroid.
She looked like John Larroquette. I love Linda England.
We're gonna,
See, again, you think you come up with Lindy England, I pulled out of my ass, he beats you with John Larroquette. You can't. Fucking,
take a sip.
Good goodness.
Yeah.
What are you
yeah.
in town for, Doug? We should get the plug out there. Oh,
I'm
BB
at
King's.
BB King's
Oh, nice.
tonight.
Fuck yeah, man. Cool. And then the Washington State Theater, D.C.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
May 9th. That's Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Trocadero in Philly.
On,
You guys are still big in
Friday.
Philly.
What's Trocadero?
It's a
Oh,
place
it's
I'm playing.
Yeah.
It's a theater.
Yeah.
Theater-y.
You're doing weeknights too. That's tougher. Like a Monday night. And do you want to do weeknights, or they
Yeah,
just put the head over?
before I quit completely, I just eliminate Friday, Saturday out of my life. And
Yeah.
just, like all
Really?
those fucking Joe Lunchbucket assholes. Oh, this is my Friday. They just like they
Pain in the
force
ass.
entertainment into their own head
Yes.
because that's what society dictates, and they find the good thing in the weekly to go to, and they don't.
They
have
have to be doing something
Yes.
on a Friday and
Because
Saturday night
that's
to
why-
justify their existence because
to
they
justify
work all
Monday
week.
through Friday,
Right.
They have to.
So they do that, and then they get hammered drunk and fuck up everyone else's weekend that's
and they're
around
not
them.
good at it. Like,
Yeah.
again, I'm a drunk, but I consider myself seasoned.
Right.
And like drunkest people will say, almost to a fault, where they'll go, I didn't even know you were hammered.
Right, yeah.
I was blackout drunk. Well, you seem normal, which is almost a problem in that
Yes.
people, you can't say, well, it was okay, you were drunk. Because if you
I
did
get that
something
too.
really
People
bad,
don't even know.
or you said something completely out of line, and you go, "I'm sorry, I was blackout drunk." No, you weren't.
Right.
You were completely lucid.
I've
Well,
carried
it
on a
seemed
few
that way.
conversations with some law enforcement officers out my driver's side window when I've probably been a little over the limit. But no slurring, no weird eye movements, and yeah, it's a talent.
Yeah. The
Like I said, it
Ambien
could be a
drunk?
problem.
Have you done the Ambien drunk yet?
No.
Everyone has stories.
Oh, when they just fucking forget that they woke up,
I have had
did things,
and not even
not know.
really drunk.
Yes.
Where I've been with my manager was staying at my house, and I took an Ambien, had a few cocktails. I'm going to
Oh,
bed.
my
It's
God.
kicking in.
They tell you not
and then
to do
came
that.
back out and had just completely lucid, rational business conversations. Where in the morning he brought it back up, and I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "The thing you told me last night." He's a Scotsman. I can't do it well.
I thought he was
and I-
Indian. The ding.
Yeah.
The ding. Oh, the ding you told me.
No, we talked about this, and I go, I have no. Well, you came back out. I go, I came back out. I like
Wow.
Whoa,
but
that's fucked up.
He
Fucked
knows
up
me
is
as a
right.
drunk, so he was even confused.
That's odd that part of your mind can be functioning, and then the part that just remembers all of it is just asleep. It's gone.
Yeah.
So you're just out there having a normal conversation, but not recorded.
Like,
Your
I've
DVR wasn't
heard
recording.
so many stories, like even normal. You know, Steve Barmel, Judy Brown's husband.
sure.
He almost had a plane grounded because he had just a couple of whiskeys and an Ambien on a plane, and just started creating a ruckus. Again, no
memory of it, right?
recollection. Wow.
Do you take a lot of Ambien? I've heard horror stories about.
I stopped.
Why'd
Yeah.
you stop?
Well, I realized getting prescriptions is a pain in the ass. Xanax, I only take it to sleep, and I realized they still sell fucking OTCs, over-the-counter, nighttime sleep aid, Nitol. It works just as well.
Does it really?
Like I'm going over to Mexico and getting my balls busted by Border Patrol or customs.
Trying to bring back fucking like.
Yeah. Like, why?
Ambien,
Yeah, fucking nighttime sleep aid works just as well.
I use
Damn.
Valerian root. That's like totally like organic. Just it actually
But it
works,
works?
okay.
No.
I'm sure not as well as Ambien.
Melatonin and all that.
Melatonin works for me for like a day or two. Like I took melatonin Saturday night and Sunday. I was fucking out of it all day. I was just tired. I didn't feel high. I just felt like sleepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
I try
that
to
stuff.
like change him up. Like I'd take Benadryl occasionally. I don't want to get a tolerance for anything.
Right, for any one
So I
thing.
would do like an Ambien and then a Benadryl and then.
I had a night out a few times where I'd like take a Xanax and then you're drinking, and the next morning was pretty much like, all right, so I went out. And then, yeah.
But that's always the problem
Yeah,
is you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
do it to go out.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
understand
no.
people. I knew people that would take like 6 bars of Xanax a day.
Jesus Christ.
Like I've never taken more than a bar.
What's a bar?
A bar
That's,
is even a lot.
2 milligrams,
2 milligrams?
which I like. If I was flying when I lived in LA to Heathrow, nonstop is about 14 hours, and I'd take a bar for that to be out for the whole
It
trip.
helps you sleep for that.
Oh,
Oh, you're
knocks
done.
you fucking. A bar for me.
First you get a nice
that's-
kinda-
That's like a maximum.
First you get a nice like,
It's
feeling,
like, oh,
and
it's
then
a good sleep.
boom, you're just gone, out.
And I'm at a place in my life where sleep is the best fucking thing.
Sleep
in the
is
world.
king, man. Sleep is the fucking
You,
shit.
I'm a terrible sleeper. Are you a good sleeper?
No, that's why
Okay,
I take
yeah.
the shit.
Can you stay asleep or you can't? Like I woke up this morning at 4:30, and I just couldn't go back to sleep. I can't fall asleep and then I can't stay asleep. It's fucking
Instant. I'm like a cat. Fucking
But I
curl
don't
up.
sleep long. Even if I knock out, I rarely sleep more than 6 hours.
horrible. Right.
6 hours is a long time
I
for
would
me.
love 6 hours. I don't even get 6.
I normally go to sleep probably 1 a.m., the earliest, really, 1 a.m., and I'm up by fucking, 4:45.
That's a nap, though.
Yeah, but then I'll come
a
home.
nap.
I'll
Last
come
night I
home
went
from
to
here
bed
and
at
then
1 and I woke
sleep.
up panicked at 6, going, oh fuck, I have to be up at
Yeah.
8.
Where'd you walk from? How far do you have to walk?
3 blocks.
Oh, okay.
I do though. It's like but that's like my
That's why I
sleep
hate
sleep.
New York so much is I always stay in Times Square and I assume that the entire city is that.
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
And I guess part of my head knows it doesn't suck as bad as I think it
Times
sucks.
Square
And I think it
sucks.
sucks.
It's horrible.
Yeah, just walking out to smoke a cigarette and you're like, I can't even stand outside without being like, caught in a wash. Like
Just
there's a flood
tourists
of
and fucking-
humanity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Times
yeah.
Square. It's- Where I fucking
Well, I'm
avoid
always
Times Square.
playing here, somewhere fucking near here, or I'm doing a show. So I always
Any of
get
the
a hotel
hotels
here.
on Broadway and shit, you just walk out and you're like, ugh.
I wouldn't trust any of them.
Why?
Just
Bed
we talked about
bugs.
bed bugs before. Fuck that.
The Renaissance is nice.
Oh, I'm sure there's
I
some
stay
nice
at
The
the
hotel I'm at, that's
I've
what
stayed.
sucks. Every time you get put in a shitty hotel, you can't complain about it on stage or on the air because then everyone knows where you're staying and they'll call up and
fuck with you.
But yeah,
You stay under a different name.
How do you do that?
Jim
Just go
Norton.
down and go. Don't use Doug Stanhope.
I guess you could ask.
Yeah. I always do that.
Now they're just going to call hotels.
Then this, for the same reason I have sunglasses on my head, but I'm not wearing them to cover up my bloodshot, obvious drunk eyes, is the same reason I wouldn't go to the front desk and go, listen, don't use my
Right.
real name.
Yeah, that just sounds
Like,
suspicious.
who are you?
That's
Who the
one of
fuck
those
are you?
see something, say something moments, I think.
Like-
It's like, oh, his real name? He doesn't want to fucking
Can we go
call
back
the
to-
cops.
Yeah, can I leave my backpack
Yeah.
in the
Great
fucking
sunglasses.
garage?
You should use DB Cooper. Just tell him-
They go with the leisure suit.
Those are some nice fucking...
I want to go back to the leisure. How many leisure suits do you own?
I went through a period of football jerseys.
Right. Oh, I
Again,
remember that.
I don't
stuff.
have a lot of money, but every penny's disposable because I don't have kids.
Yes.
And my house is paid for, and I don't live like you. I don't live in a place that takes a lot of money to live. So I went through a period of football jerseys where I bought every team's football jersey and then a few throwbacks if I don't... Yeah. So I have like 70 football
Holy
jerseys
shit.
bought on eBay that are now in storage because I went to... So I have like... I don't know, like 45 jackets.
Really?
How much does a leisure suit cost when you buy them?
Well, you try to get them in thrift stores,
Right.
or I get them on eBay.
Yeah, you can't just
find
go
weird
into a
shit.
fucking store and...
You find something. That's the problem. You go, oh, I got this coat for $4.
Yeah.
Well, then I went on eBay to accessorize and find pants that match. And, yeah, it's fucking
Damn.
gay as shit.
Do you ever have them
He's all
fitted?
in.
Do they fit?
Well, the ones that you get that don't fit, you either have. Well, I've never had a coat taken in, but I've had pants taken in or taken out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My arms are short. I always have to, and my legs. I always have to have fucking pants. It's humiliating.
Do ya?
Trying to buy man's clothes.
Stand up here,
Fucking-
Mr. Norton.
Yeah.
Aye.
So how much you lost enough weight? How much did it change your like I'm terrified because I'm trying to quit smoking, but I know I'm going to get fat, and I just spent all this dumb money on fucking
On
dumb
fucking
clothes.
clothes.
I don't wanna have to-
They're not going to fit.
So your pants fit the same?
No, I've got. I think I have a photo of the clothes that are going to Goodwill because I can't fucking. Let me see. I've literally lost 80% of my wardrobe.
He lost
Wow.
30 pounds, Doug.
I should have the
Almost
cans
30,
on,
yeah.
'cause If you can hear me fucking sipping on the air,
Oh,
nothing
please.
makes me crazy. That's why I can't listen to NPR. They always close talk the microphone and they go. Between, and fucking
Yeah.
mouth sounds like physically violent.
I'm with you. When I hear people eat, it drives me insane.
Nothing
When
worse.
it's moist eating.
No
Yeah.
good anymore.
Yeah.
All those clothes are getting fucking.
Wow.
It's a fucking huge pile.
Let me see the pile.
It's all pants and
that's a
shirts. It's like
pile.
4 piles of
Oh,
clothes.
Jimmy.
It's probably about 75 different items that I can't.
And you can't
wear
take any
anymore.
of those pants in?
I don't
What
want to.
percentage of your
75 or 80% of my pants.
Gone.
Maybe even
Gone?
more. Yeah, gone.
what size were they?
I don't even know because they're different. Like I liked Abercrombie because it was the 32 I could actually fit, but probably a 34 down to a 30 or something. I just can't wear them anymore.
32 that's the inches.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
there shouldn't be a 32 that doesn't fit. I just sorry. Let's not go off on fashion.
I couldn't. I know they were
Oh,
the
it goes
con-
right to
I'm
my
taking
thighs.
the fucking cans off.
You don't
'cause
wanna hear-
I hate my voice even more in reality.
Hey, Dr. Drew's giving up celebrity rehab.
Yes.
Yeah,
You were very
yeah.
vocal with the Dr. Drew.
I
there,
know, and
Doug.
I could fucking go on and on.
It's that fucking bit is great. It's just so truthful.
We played it
oh
on
my
our show.
god, yeah,
Someone told me that, and I went.
it's fucking great.
No, we
Yeah.
loved it.
That was
Because
that,
we've been keeping tabs of his fucking Kevorkian like foray into reality television.
What's Norton's take on this?
I actually like Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Well, he's a fucking AA kid.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
hell yeah.
recovering, and I don't.
He's an AA
Recover,
kid.
you know, you're fucking recovered, motherfucker.
No, I'm not. I'm honestly
Stop
not.
it.
I'm telling you, no. I know enough people who have gone out after 15 years, and they pick up like they never left off. Not one person's ever come back and said things were better. So personally,
No, but you don't drink is recovered. You're not always We're all one bullet away from suicide, but that doesn't mean we're suicidal.
But whatever it is that makes me.
I'm recovering from. Go ahead.
Recovery to me is an active thing. I mean, for other people, maybe it's not, but for me, it is. It's. I know that if I pick up where I'll be, I have no doubt. It's not that they brainwash me. I know
But
exactly.
until you
where
do
I'll
that,
be.
you're recovered, right? I think that's what.
Being in recovery,
Yeah.
I should say. Yeah, I guess technically Doug is right. You are recovered, but it's like it's still an active
But
thing.
the whole program of Alcoholics Anonymous keeps you subservient to. Oh, I'm not in control of my own life. I need to do this all the time. It's this like milking you into religion. It's where it's God is the basis of it, and if you don't have God, there's no way to believe in AA without God.
That's completely untrue.
The
I
chapter
can't-
to the agnostic in the big book tells you how to work AA without God, and the chapter is, well, this is how you believe in God.
I can't speak about AA. I'll just say this. I would say any group that talks about God. I know enough people who are atheists or agnostic or just completely, like my own struggles with fucking higher power. God can be group of drunks, any power that is fucking doing something I can't do. Whatever that is.
A power greater than you.
Yeah, and there is one. And the bottom line is my best thinking got me to where I was. And whenever I have a problem, it's my fucking best thinking. And the bottom line is the results are I was one way and now I'm this way. So whatever it is, I can intellectualize it.
But your best thinking has you sober for 20, 30 years?
No, it's because 26. It's because I did what other people suggested. And it's like
Not drink?
Nah, it was more than that. It's about helping other people. It's about changing the way I am.
So,
because you cannot drink and be a dry drunk. You cannot drink and just be a miserable
the
dry
that
drunk.
They teach you. I grew up with this. I was the same way, and I believed this shit because my mother was AA. I was a kid doing homework in the back of AA meetings, and I just took all this. AA will tell you in the fucking that if fucking completely fucking stop. My brain just stopped right there for a second.
What is a dry drunk, by the way?
A dry drunk is somebody who stops drinking and does nothing to change who they are or what makes them that person.
Uh-oh.
And
I don't believe you can change who you are.
Well, of course you can. I mean, maybe some people can, some people can't. I can only speak for myself. And a dry drunk is somebody who's always white knuckling it and doesn't change any of the things that make them who they are in a negative way. So they're just not putting the substance in their body. So they're not drinking, but they're miserable. And there's plenty of times I'm a dry drunk where they're not facing, like, they're not looking at life on life's terms. They're bitching, complaining, unhappy all the time. The same shit that caused them to drink is there, and they're changing none of their fucking personality.
But AA teaches you that you cannot change yourself without AA. I can quote AA like scripture. I stood at a crossroads.
I would say this, and again, I'm not going to say anything about AA.
AA will say that the only people, without AA, you'll end up dead or in prison or institutionalized. It's in the fucking big
12-step people talk about their own experience. And they never say, this is the only way to do it. I know that. They say, there's one suggestion where they say, try what we've suggested for 90 days, and then go out and try some controlled drinking. It is attraction. It's like, if this doesn't work for you, fine. They never come out on outside issues. It's not a cult because they don't, it's like if you want to stay, you stay. Most people don't. Most people go out and drink again. It's just for people who want to be there.
But AA tells you AA is the only way that works.
I've never, ever, in all my years of being sober, heard that.
Bring me the big book of AA. I'll find it.
I've never
stood at a crossroads thing that we know people who have tried and failed. I almost from being a child, which I don't even remember my childhood, I can remember a lot of the fucking nonsense that.
But there are people who are just sharing what's worked for them. Like, nobody ever said this is the only way, and without this, you're a dead. Because I've heard it raised, people have talked about it that I know who are sober. It's never been said that this is what worked for us. That's what people say. There was no way, we never knew any way we could stop, and here we are, stopped and staying stopped and living productive lives. This is what we did. If you want it, this is what you should do. If you don't, do it your way.
Okay,
knock
you
yourself
know
out.
people who, because I know several that were just miserable, rotten drunks that just fall down embarrassments, that just stop drinking, and they're fine.
There are
I
people,
know a million of them.
Absolutely. I don't know a million of them. I mean, I know.
Now that we're aged, I know a lot more.
I know, sure.
Hey, you used to be fun. Well, yeah, I was kind of an asshole, too. Yeah, you're right. They're just fine. They had kids. They go, yeah, I can't do that shit anymore.
Maybe there are people that can do that. Good for them. I mean, but nobody would disparage that or say, they can't do it.
They're not, but they don't say, I'm in recovery.
Who cares what they say?
They just stopped.
That's them.
And they're fine.
But I know that the things that, like, in my life that have changed or that I need to change, I know exactly where it comes from. Everything I've learned about myself that's real, like how full of shit I was. And again, they talk about how easy it is to intellectualize. Smart people have a much harder time getting sober because it's so easy to intellectualize.
That's big book stuff, too.
Of course it is. 12 step stuff.
There are people who are too smart for AA. That's in the big book.
It's not saying that. It's saying that.
No, that's actually, I believe that's a quote.
People who are intelligent, really intelligent, can very easily justify anything they do, can very easily explain everything away. I mean, it just cuts off every single angle of bullshit that I had. And again, it was written in the 30s and in the early 40s. So yeah, there's stuff about God.
Trailer for sale or rent. Let me pen a little book, a little tome.
But if it works for people and they don't tell other people, they have to believe it, which they don't, and they have no opinion on outside issues, and they want people to protect their own anonymity.
First
publicly.
of all, we're getting a little broad with they, because that's like people who say, "Oh, a true Muslim." All right, there's a lot of they in AA,
yes.
And whoever's running the meeting really decides. Well, this meeting is about this.
I can only speak about AA as a certain. Whatever. I don't say if I'm in it or not. Yeah. I don't ever break personal anonymity or say I've ever been to it, because maybe I have and maybe I haven't. It doesn't matter. I respect that.
Do you go to meetings on the road?
I do a lot less than I should. Let's say that. I do. When I'm doing the right stuff, I'm happier and I feel better. When I'm not, I don't feel as good. That's just the reality. It's what I've noticed in 26 years.
I'm not saying you're wrong for doing anything. It's like people who go, hey, religion made... My brother's a guy. You know how I feel about fucking child breeding. Fuck you. Don't have more people. Oh, but yeah, my brother had a kid, and he was the guy that we all thought might snap at one point in his life, that would shoot up an office place. He had that kind of rage. Paxton, Massachusetts, you're getting a fucking terrorist. And I'm putting my brother's name under, because you're a fucking bunch of cunts. And I'm giving up my... Has this made the fucking routers fucking news feed yet?
I don't think they...
I'm putting that guy in my dad's fucking grave.
I don't think they believe
Massachusetts.
You. And we're trying to get the funeral home on the line.
Guys like Mitch Hedberg, man. Brilliant comic.
Oh, God.
Smart, creative, interesting guy. And it's like, look at what a fucking waste that is. And it's like let's say the other option was getting sober, and this, it's never the better option to go the way he went, ever.
You're doing the classic mistake of confusing everyone as being like you.
No, I'm not.
You're a fucking brilliant, sober guy. But again, you were drunk till you were 19.
18.
You didn't even flesh it out.
Right.
18.
Flesh it out.
But I know where it was
point
going.
Is,
it was an impossibility that I would have
sober
continued.
Hedberg and AA Hedberg is the most depressing thought I could imagine. I don't think he would be him. I think
that's the illusion that we tell ourselves, that is now a part of who I am. It's like smoking.
That's again, you're making everyone the same as you. There are people I go, all right, you're a fuck up. Sean Rouse is brilliant. He would be brilliant sober. He's not sober. He should be sober.
Right.
He's a guy you don't go, come on, you can have one. He's a fuck up.
But alcoholics and addicts are like me. You know what? We all think we're that unique. We all have that. We're not. In certain ways, but you know what?
I think Hedberg was. I think, he went too far.
I think it's easier to swallow his death if we look at him that way. It's easier to handle it.
I knew him.
I knew him too, not as well as you, but I also know that it's never better to be dead of heroin than it is to be alive and trying to create sober. No matter how creative you are under the influence, you are never a better artist dead than you would have been alive. And it's sad that waste happened.
I can make some lists
at
the break of people that, if they had died at Hedberg's age, well, they'd be recognized now. Instead, you're like, ooh, he's still around trying to do this?
He
had his moment.
We like to look at it that way because it's less painful to realize that this was a waste. This brilliant guy.
Yeah, a lot more to offer is what you're saying.
So much
but
more
would
to
he have
offer.
been able to offer that sober?
Of
that's
course.
that's Doug's point. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, because again, we're not. When you're a kid growing up,
nobody you know that's got sober and became unfunny.
Oh, dude, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen the other way too. How many fucking great minds fucking get shit canned by this and start to suck and their careers going nowhere? So it kind of works both ways.
I completely agree with you there, but it's not just one way.
But when Mitch was a kid growing up, or any comic's a kid growing up, you're not drunk and on heroin the whole time. What makes you who you are, your personality, that thing about being funny. Maybe you lose inhibitions when you're high, and maybe you lose a lot of this, but Mitch still would have been funny.
No, fucking with hallucinogens, really, I give so much credit to that. And the smoking is a problem that I wish I'd never done. That's maybe the one regret. I wish I never started smoking.
Yeah.
There's no payoff to it. But I would encourage kids, teenagers, under controlled circumstances, fuck with hallucinogens. It really, like, that made my head like so wide open, coming from a Worcester place,
right?
And that small shithead mentality, where it really opened me up so much. And like ecstasy, back when you could count on the purity of it, like it taught me so much love and introspection. Yeah, alcohol is a pointless thing, but I enjoy it. It works for me. I can make it work.
Yeah,
like a diet. And cigarettes are but yeah, fucking hallucinogens. Like, Hedberg really stretched his brain out. And yeah, heroin fucked him.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet, but I'll wait till everything's falling apart and give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
When it's the fucking final stretch and I'm in last place.
When everything that it could fuck up is already fucked up.
Yeah.
So what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
A live Mitch performing and creating
fucking brilliant
is better than a dead Mitch. It's the bottom. I mean, it sounds simple and stupid, but that's what it comes down to. All the intellectualizing, all the brilliance means zero. Mitch is smart enough to say what you're saying. He was a smart enough guy to figure that out, and all of the knowledge about that.
Mitch was like one of the few guys early in when I was even stupid that I go, this guy is light years ahead of me. Spiritually, intellectually, he laughed at all of us. I'm like, this guy knows that we're a goof. And
then why couldn't all of that fucking smarts and all of that genius stop what happened?
Because he didn't really want to hang around with us.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
maybe we weren't that important to Mitch. That life was that. You're putting a value on living that other people might not share.
I don't buy that. I don't. I believe that nobody just. I mean, people commit suicide all the time.
Yeah.
But I think that people put a certain value on it. I mean, come on. It's
in the moment, yeah, if someone has a gun to your head, but in the, do I really, again, people who don't want children, like, hey, what's the point?
But do you think
that
can I jump in for a second? What's the value, though? Living a really long life or a short one that is packed with some amazing shit?
Amazing shit, yeah, but being fucking stoned and missing gigs and falling apart at the end, which is what was happening to him.
No,
it's sad to me that happened, and I guarantee he didn't overdose on purpose. There are people that commit suicide, but I don't believe he overdosed on purpose. And as smart as he is, and he was, he could not control that.
The word on the street, the inside fucking Perez Hilton, for the record out there, drug users, it wasn't actually the heroin that killed him. It was the downers coming off of it. Prescription shit. So, yeah, remember that. Prescription drugs are really the most dangerous, which sucks for me because, again, I enjoy a Xanax when I can get one.
Right.
And all these fucking celebrities dying of them is going to make them illegal.
Do you think you're addicted?
No, actually, I've stopped taking Xanax.
I mean, to booze
months.
or to any of it?
Alcohol I'm worried about because I watch a lot of Intervention for fun. On an off night, I'll open a bottle of red wine and go, I'm not drinking tonight. I'm just drinking wine, and we're going to watch Intervention.
Right.
But you can, like, the amount that I drink over the course of time that I've drank, even when I stop drinking for a few days, when I'm quitting smoking, like I quit smoking for 3 weeks, most of 3 weeks, I'll still drink a few drinks a night because you do have the chance that you can have seizures if you quit immediately.
But if you want to stop, if it's so easy to intellectualize it, I'm not saying forever, but why not give yourself a break just to fucking, give your body a chance to shore up a little bit?
But for the first few days, I will have a couple of drinks just because I don't want to take a chance of, I don't know, you don't know. The problem with the whole war on drugs thing is they put so much bullshit into it. You can't glean any reasonable medical advice when they have the fucking, pot leads to this. And you go, no, I know everyone that smoked pot for 100 fucking years. I know you're lying. So, okay, where's the truth come in with your PSAs? There's so much bullshit against drugs that, all right, I watch people, okay, this guy died on Intervention because he went into a seizure because he tried to quit cold turkey. All right, I'll have a couple of drinks just to make sure, but I'm still fine not drinking in circumstances.
So why
I can
go
make
back
my
to
own
it,
rehab?
Why go back
I like
to it?
drinking.
Okay,
well, drinking is
I know, I definitely get that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
If somebody enjoys
I love
it,
the whole culture. I love the glasses. I buy fucking glasses online. I like rocks glasses. I like bars.
Exactly. The ritual of it is fucking.
Is what's happening because of it worth it? If it is, then cool. Like, and I'm not asking that with a definitive answer. Because you know what's happening physically when you do it. Like, you understand what's happening to the body, to the liver, and how the older we get, the harder it gets to stop, and the fucking more damage it does for real. Is the trade-off worth it? If it is, then you just enjoy it. But if it's not, if deep down you're like, I probably shouldn't be doing this.
The only way you could tell that for sure is to live 46 years sober to see if it's better. What's the trade-off? I don't know.
But, I mean, you know if you're feeling well. Like, you know, if I'm not feeling well, I know I'm not feeling well. If my body is not good, I know my body is not good. So, I mean, if you feel fine, then you feel fine. If you feel like, this is taking a toll, then...
Well, that's anything. I ate too much gravy. I fucking love gravy. Why would you eat a potato?
But nobody eats Nobody blacks out eating gravy. Very few people... you know what I mean? Beat their family when they're eating gravy.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I don't do that.
What about the hangovers?
Don't do that drunk either.
What about the hangovers, Doug? Are they just brutal? You just deal with it?
But morning feels the same regardless. I've realized 60% minimum of a hangover is cigarettes. Because when I drink, I fucking chain smoke, and I'm just outside looking at my friends through a window. And when I stop smoking, I feel so much better no matter how drunk I was.
Really?
So I realize how much of the hangover is cigarettes.
I just fucking, I decided like probably 3 weeks ago just to fucking stop drinking. I just stopped. Not because I'm like, I'm never going to drink again or might not. I don't know. I didn't put any goal on this thing. But it was more like, all right, since I started drinking and as a kid, I've never stopped. I never took a breather. And I wanted to see if it would be like, oh, well, I stopped, but all right, this is cool. Or if I'd be, I didn't drink, like crazy, because I didn't know what the result would be.
You don't do this drunk. I've been drunk my entire career.
I've done this very drunk.
When I'm sober, I go into managerial mode where I'm so worried about, all right, did you get the guest list, and are these people coming in on time, and is everyone seated? Like I would be on stage going, these people need a drink. Like my head is completely trying to take over the room and control everything. And when I have cocktails, then I can get into my act. And I've tried to do comedy sober, and I suck. I fucking suck.
But I'm
really
sure, maybe you do it for a little while because your mind is different.
I might overcome it. Yeah,
of course you would. I mean, you're a funny dude, and your mind works really interesting. There's nothing to do with the drinking. Drinking just lowers the inhibitions, and you could say things or not give a fuck. But that doesn't make anybody smarter. It doesn't make anybody more interesting.
It doesn't make you smarter, and I need my inhibitions to be, because otherwise I'm overwhelmed with control freak. The whole environment. That girl's on her cell phone. She's texting. Is that person filming? There's nothing in my head that
whatever it is that is, you'd find a way to make that part of your brain work really well for you too. So it wouldn't affect you.
Or I could have
some cocktails. I can afford it now.
Again, I'm not saying don't drink. I'm just,
should we change the subject?
No,
I just want
it's
that
fascinating.
Don't drink that are so bored.
That's why I like that. I like Dr. Drew. I'll tell you why.
There's the schools of thought.
But I'm not trying to tell anybody that their school of thought is wrong. Do what you got to do.
Two very different ways of looking at this in the room right now.
Fucking sycophant.
Here's why I like Dr. Drew. Here's why I like him.
Oh, that's right. This started with Dr.
Yeah, because you asked why I like him. Here's why I like him. I think that the odds of most people staying sober are very low. It's the reality. And I really do think that the way to get people to pay attention to something is through celebrities. And this shit happens anyway. But that's what our TV culture is. Is like, if you want people to look at something, you put celebrities in. But
if you're using a bad template of what will work for you, AA is there's statistics out there where AA is the same or less than just cold turkey, I'm going to do it myself.
You may be right. I've never read that, but maybe you're right. But again, maybe it is. Maybe that's correct. I don't say that AA is the only thing that would work for people. If you can quit cold turkey and just go ahead. There's no like, this is the way to do it. This is the product we're selling. If it works for you, cool. If cold turkey works for somebody, cool. But I don't think Dr. Drew is committing this cultural crime by just showing people going through this process. They're choosing.
God is going to fix you. That's, again, the only way you can work AA is through believing in God. That's why they say it doesn't work for smart people.
That's completely incorrect.
Fucking 8 out of the 12 steps are God-related. I had to give up my life and turn my will and my power over to a higher...
a power greater than yourself.
Yeah, pull them up.
But they also say that there are plenty of people who are sober, who do not believe in a deity of any kind, who have great, productive, sober lives, as good as anybody else. There's no difference in the way they do it.
Then you're not working the steps, because the steps tell you have to believe in a God.
Of course they don't tell you that. Of course they don't.
I'm going to read them to you.
You can, but they don't tell you. There are no, you have to do anything. Nobody
we admitted we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable.
Do you agree with that for yourself?
No, I'm not powerless. That's what's fucked up about you giving credit to this when you're a smart person that overcame this yourself, because you're
smart. Had nothing to do with it. Mitch was a smart guy too.
But he decided to go a different direction. It's the same as the old, it's the same as the hackneyed cliche joke of fucking the sports player who gives the credit to God when they win. I thank God, but they don't give themselves any credit.
I get that point, but I don't think that's the same thing.
We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Yeah, that's what you have to believe, is a power greater.
No, hold on.
Made a decision.
Hold on, one thing at a time. It doesn't say you have to believe. It doesn't say.
We came to believe.
It's an experiential thing. We came to believe.
So if you're an atheist and you did not have some conversion of spirituality where you came to believe in a power greater than yourself, what if you believe rightly that you're the greatest power in your own life, that you have you can manifest your own destiny?
Well, then good for you. Knock yourself out.
Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand God. What if you understand that God is the silliest belief a fucking human being can have?
But right now,
I believe in Batman as well.
You have not shown me one thing where it says you have to believe anything.
These are the 12 steps of AA.
We made a decision to turn over to the care of God as we understood.
If you want AA to work, you have to believe that.
That's simply... as we understood is the important part. A lot of people, for them, their higher power, I'm telling you, I mean, I live this too. Their higher power is not a deity. No, they believe in either the power of the group or something.
All right, now I'm going to have to quote my own bit that I just remembered. Is, okay, I believe that I am my only higher power, that therefore I'm turning my will
over to yourself.
To myself, and I want to cocktail.
In all honesty, if that works for you, and it helps you not drink, nobody would say...
I'm not arguing that.
I'm
arguing that this program tells you that the belief in God is the only way to work this program.
But they don't talk about...
I'm not talking about what works for me. I'm talking about...
They're not talking about God as a God in heaven or a God of Allah. They're not talking about that, because obviously there's a lot of people that would never get sober if that was forced down their throat. Never. They wouldn't do it.
The belief in a God is silly. It doesn't. I'm not even talking about one that has backstory.
You're saying you don't think that you're saying...
I'm talking about any God, that there's anything that could be a God. The idea of God.
You're saying you don't like the idea
silly.
That a power... that you need to find some kind of a thing greater than yourself. Even if it's the group. Yeah. What if it's the group? Some people say they use the group. And I really know people that have done that. God, group of drunks. That's all I can do. I don't believe in fucking God. I don't believe in any type of religion.
You're going to turn your will over to a group.
Meaning...
So you're like, okay, hey, what should I do about my finances?
In a weird way...
Bunch of guys smoking, divot faces in AA fucking halls in a bingo hall. I'm going to turn my power and my will over to you.
In a weird way, but it does work for people. That's what works for people who don't believe in a deity.
Hypnosis worked for Lewis Black quitting smoking for a couple of years.
Yeah, for a couple of years, but it works for a lot of people a lot. There's no way to explain to somebody who's actively drinking.
Let's get back to Dr. Drew, because now we're just infighting.
But I'm not even fighting with you.
But I want to trash Dr. Drew. I'm not.
I think it's a very interesting discussion.
When I want to trash Dr. Drew as a person, I love.
All All right.
But yeah, Dr. Drew.
But you can't say that you have to believe in God because it tells it, but it does not say you have to do anything. It does not say once.
To God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. This is where Scientology one-upped fucking Catholicism, Christianity. Christianity would get you, they have confession for a reason. Because once you've told someone, you feel indebted to them. Like, oh shit, they know what I fucked up and I fucked that guy's wife and I said it. So now it's a cult process. Scientology went one better, and that's why they have that whole system of
video.
So it's either that.
Wait. This is important. This is Scientology gets you to say it on tape.
Yeah.
So that's why you have Travolta's and fucking Tom Cruise's that Travolta wanted to leave, and they're like, whoa.
We got
that
the videos.
Auditing we did.
Right.
We have it on tape.
All right, look,
that's how you get to the next level.
I like sucking the occasional cock.
I was in a sauna.
Yeah.
I was in a sauna once.
So it's either
doesn't seem smart.
This is just about getting rid of your fucking shame. This is just about getting all those. They say we're as sick as our secrets, and it's like the stuff that you hold in that is secretive is what you feel bad about. This is just about telling another human being that, trusting another person, and getting it off your chest. You're not that unique.
Indoctrination into fucking Christianity. I swear to God.
It's absolutely not an indoctrination to anything. You tell somebody. It can be your doctor. They don't care who it is. It can be a stranger. Nobody says it must be a member of this organization. It can be.
Well, no, what step is that where you have to go back to all the people and fucking apologize?
Oh yeah, it says made direct amends to such people. Made a list of all people. Yeah, I know that's a terrible thing. Made a list of all people we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. That means for all of the bullshit I have pulled and the damage I have done, I'm fucking owning up to it and I'm saying I'm sorry. Except in those cases, except in those cases where to do so would injure them or others. So it's not go back and tell, hey, Bill, I fucked your wife, because that would injure Bill's wife or possibly you. You use common sense with it. But it's about fucking just cleaning up your garbage and your wreckage.
I think I understand what Doug's saying in that the way God is worded in here, it seems to be a little more of a leap on your part that you're interpreting it to mean anything.
It's come that way over the years because, again, of course it was based, a lot of it, on Catholicism and Catholic teaching. It was written in the fucking 30s and the 40s. That's where
they call that the good old days.
Sale,
every time,
King of the road.
Every time I think about Bill W. or fucking,
but that's where the but Bill tried hallucinogenics. Bill W. was a womanizer.
I just picture him as Ryan O'Neal in Paper Moon. Every time I think of Bill W.
I love that movie.
Door-to-door Bible salesman in the Dust Bowl in fucking Oklahoma, and checking into a halfway house.
Yeah, I mean...
sorry, that was off topic.
No, that's fine. I never saw it.
No,
I didn't remember what I was saying.
Good one.
We got to head toward a break.
Yeah, the interpretation of God.
Yeah, I understand that, dude. And I was fucking 18 when I got sober. You think that I was believing in God? I don't.
No.
I still have a hard time with higher power. I still struggle with that shit.
But it seems like anything else, like a big biblical scripture and other type of rules that they've loosened over the years, that it's like, well, that's open to interpretation. The Constitution, that's open to interpretation.
Constitution,
it's like
separation of church and state. This is one of the biggest breaches, is people who get a DUI sentenced to go to AA meetings where they're forced to believe in God for 6 weeks.
But that's the fucking they're just trying to get people to do something so they don't run families over.
They should do something other than AA.
They can.
How can't have a judge sentence someone to go to AA where the fucking first
you don't have to go. No. You don't have to go to AA. You can take the jail sentence for getting the DWI. You don't have to go to AA or any place.
It's still bullshit.
Why? You've given it.
No, you can't fucking tell someone that church is an option.
You're right. So people should be forced to just go to jail. Fair. I'll go with that.
I would go that far with you.
Okay.
As long as they did something wrong while they were driving drunk. You fucking don't put someone in jail unless they did something wrong.
Oh, you don't like the fact that if
you own a gun, Ant.
Yep.
You could have fucking killed someone with that. You're fucking going to jail.
Well, the idea of drunk driving is the crime, though. Just doing it, even though you've done nothing wrong drunk driving.
It's kind of a douchebag move, but the libertarian side of my head says, well, if you're good at drunk driving, at the same time, again, these are bits I've done a million years ago, but an elderly person in Florida is fucking completely
more
legal,
dangerous,
licensed, and uncoordinated. Then you have a NASCAR driver shit-faced that can... Fucking you guys do this. You have a radio show. You can make this happen. I've wanted to do it. Set up an obstacle course in a parking lot somewhere with a 90-year-old sober guy versus a fucking well-reflexed guy with cones and make them do the same shit-faced old guy sober and see who wins. Do that. Don't be lazy.
It really is a good one.
We might have to finally do a radio bit.
Hold them to the fire.
Doug, I've tried over the years to promote this where the state has drunk driver's licenses. Where
that's the bit. This is this is a fucking 15-year-old bit on a CD.
You take a test, right?
Yeah, a drunk driver, yeah.
And you get your limit is on
.17.
Right.
It's on a CD.
Wow, it is. Okay,
yes.
yeah. I've thought that for years myself.
Listener, call in and tell me what CD that's on.
Yes, I mean, that would be great. You just fucking, you pass for a certain blood alcohol level.
The same as your contact lenses. I'm a minus 300 in my contact lenses. That's what I have to have in my head to drive.
I like that idea. You could drive.
I've only had like 14 really good points in my career. And they're on CDs.
And I'll tell you something.
No one listens.
The past fucking almost like 3 weeks that I haven't been drinking, I've been the worst driver when I've driven to and from my brother's house, parties. I take my Mustang out where I normally would take the Escalade. I'm driving 140 miles an hour down the expressway. I'm weaving in and out of lanes. Meanwhile, if I had been drinking, I'd be center lane, 10 and 2, cruise control on, barely over the speed limit, and drive home very nicely.
I'm a shitty driver. I never drink and drive at all.
Yeah?
Under any circumstances, because I know I'm just a shitty driver anyway.
Okay.
So I just don't.
I'm very good at drunk driving.
I don't own a gun because I have small man complex. I get really angry. I can see shooting someone in the fucking wrong state of mind. Like, oh, fuck you. I could get away with, oh, no, I shouldn't have done that.
That's an odd thing, because when I get mad, and I get fucking mad on the road, like people piss me the fuck off when I'm driving, and I'll yell, you fucking piece of shit, but I never, ever, it never even crosses my mind to go to my gun. To pull out my gun and fucking wave it at someone's face.
That's why you own a gun. I'm responsible enough.
You would wave it around.
I should not motherfucker. I can get into a state of where I think I'm being attacked.
I think I'm being.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Right.
This
I understand his point.
He's down the street, and now he's outside of my house, and I know he's a tweaker. Well, no, he's just walking by. But I think he's casing my joint. I can see how it would develop. Probably not, but it's best I don't have a gun.
Okay, that's responsible.
It's best I just apologize in the morning for being a fucking asshole.
That's responsible of you. That's good.
I don't really have a case here.
I don't think everyone should be armed either. So that's
Kirshner, give me, tell me what developed as my attorney.
Yeah.
What might have developed because I shot a guy and he probably didn't deserve it.
Make up a good story, please.
Doug, we got a break just because we have a lot of live reads for fucking Mother's Day. So. Doug's going to continue with us.
My mother's dead. Ha ha.
Mom died, right? When?
Yeah, she killed herself. It's on the new DVD.
Oh. What was that? Did I know that? I think I did.
2008. There was a statute of limitations before I could tell the whole story.
Oh, wow.
Can you tell us after the break a little bit?
Yeah, finger it a bit.
Finger it a bit? All right, Doug will finger that a little bit. He's going to be at B.B. King's here in New York tonight. Fuck, that's cool. Washington, D.C. State Theater, May 9th, and then May 10th in Philadelphia at the Trocadero.
And I got to plug this weekend. Friday, Saturday, I'm at fucking Wise Guys in Utah.
Ooh. Utah.
Oh, fucking Keith Stubbs. I love that guy. I haven't seen him in years.
Great fucking club.
Dr. Drew and Doug's mom's suicide after the break.
Jesus.
The Opie and AA Channel.
Doug is outside smoking, so hopefully somebody can Twitter him and tell him we're back on the air.
Smoking.
Yeah, Doug want to.
They look chicks.
What's that?
Chicks.
Yeah, there's a couple of lovely
chicks.
Lovely girls walking down.
That's chicks. You really think about it, that's a silly thing to call girls.
Really is, yeah.
Hey, look, chicks.
What's the best one, you think?
Gals. Gals is
Broad,
the sexiest.
gals, chicks.
Girls.
Slits.
I call it slits. Hey, that's slit.
Here's Doug.
Skirt.
And Adrian.
Hey, skate.
How's the cigarette, Doug?
You know what? The last time I was here, fucking Dice came in.
All right.
And just lit up a cigarette and took control of the room, motherfucker. You got gay.
What a pain in the ass he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you can't, because he went through the vents. And
went through the vents. It was pouring out into other studios.
I actually did a pilot, I guess you'd call it. a wannabe radio show for Sirius, and it was late at night, and I'm smoking and drinking. I'm like, fuck this.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I didn't.
Was it here?
Yeah, in these studios somewhere, late at night.
I would listen to you on the radio. Huh?
What's that?
I think Di Stefano did it with me.
Oh, yeah?
Did you really?
Yeah, I think he was like my...
How long ago was that? Whatever happened to that guy?
He had a heart attack. He's
died.
Oh, Di Stefano. Oh my God. I'm
it's
so
one of those things that
I was thinking of the other.
I'm stealing from Norton, which was the whole the Colin Quinn show. Tough crowd. The whole stupid. You fucking stupid. It's you guys. It's like.
So it's a good word.
Every time I say stupid, I'm stealing from Jim Norton.
You're not, though. It's like
I know,
it's a great word. It doesn't get enough.
But I say there's scenes where people say, "Oh, Andy Andrist is trying to be like you." No, we're friends and we talk the same. Like there was a culture when I started in Phoenix. There was a culture of the David Spade, and everyone had that. Ron Morey and Pablo. Pablo wasn't really part of that, but. Yeah, they all kind of talked the same because they hung out.
They all hung out
you rub
together.
off on each other.
I'm kind of out of breath.
You're right, though. You
We
rub
had a
off.
fucking moment in the elevator.
Yeah?
Worst business card ever. Tell me who that is. Gypsy Joe something. I can't even read your business card.
Gypsy Joe Hawking. It's written in a darker font on
It
a
was a
darker
band
background.
that was somewhere
wow.
in the building.
I
They
saw
just
them.
did a radio
Yeah.
show. We got on the elevator together, and they had their equipment. I go, hey, how about a number? And they burst into song. On the whole, it was fucking beautiful. It's caught on tape somewhere. Please. Yeah, she was there.
Better be on tape.
Yes, the
I
guy
do-
that was
I do an
there
elevator show
fucking
now. I could've used that one.
liaison for Sirius Radio was there, and he started filming.
Oh, right on.
And the whole 36 floors. You really got a hold on me.
Wow.
And it ended perfectly as the doors opened at the ground floor, and I'm like, that was fucking magic.
Oh, wow.
Absolute magic.
Yeah.
But they
Saw
did.
them
They
in the
just
bathroom.
immediately plugged in. They had an amp that you could plug into, remote, and just fucking burst into song.
That's beautiful.
The doors opened a couple times. People walked into a
No,
concert
that's-
on the elevator.
I do an elevator show. That's exactly what I'm
Wicked
looking
good.
for.
Oh, man.
I could have used that. Is there an actual tape of it?
If I
need
was
it.
a younger comic, I'd go, hey, can we go up so I can do a set on the way up and we'll go down again?
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea, though. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That would
No,
work.
comedy doesn't work like that.
Well,
No,
that's
no.
why. That's
Do it
why it
to
would
the
be
back of someone's
good.
head. That's really awkward.
That's why it would be
Where are you
really
from?
good.
Oh, sorry, you're getting off at this floor?
So what
We'll
happened
talk
to your
later.
mom? What can you tell us? I know you
Oh,
don't want to
well,
give away the whole
She was
bit.
dying of emphysema.
Right.
And
Wow.
She was a
had a cash
lifetime
out.
smoker?
Yeah. Cool Milds back when they made them, and then generics at the end. Some shitty brand. But yeah, she was drowning in her own fluids and
Yeah.
had to cash out. But she was sober.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was off the air.
I asked only because you had said that she was sober, so I was like
she
hoping
was sober
that she was
for
really
like
sober.
20-something years. And then somewhere, I think, 2003, 4, whenever the Man Show was, I found out she had started drinking again. And she hadn't told me. She was hiding it from me. And then I know it was the Man Show. We were doing wraparounds for the Comedy Central, the Commie Awards. Remember they tried to do an award show?
Yeah, I do.
And we filmed wraparounds on a cruise ship. So I took her on a cruise ship with me. I was working, and she was drunk and gambling. I knew she was drinking, and they flew us first class, which at that point, I've never even... Ooh, first class. Ooh, the big seats. And they had champagne they'd bring out.
Oh.
So I like, Ma, you want champagne with me? Like, so she could. I knew she was drinking, but she didn't
like,
know
just
I
stop
knew.
hiding this, please.
Stop
Yeah.
sneaking
Yeah,
in.
so we got hammered, and it was great. And she just gambled the whole time. A woman who, in real life, oh, I'm too tired to bring my fucking groceries upstairs. Oh, but you
grocery,
can
man.
gamble for 72 hours
Straight.
Like, I've fallen asleep, passed out, blacked out. You're still at the slot machine. You have that. Yeah,
It really is an amazing thing when you're gambling, round the
It's like
clock.
cocaine for me.
It could just go round the clock. And meanwhile, if I was home, I'd have taken 50 naps already. And but I could
If I
sit
get
at a
on
table.
a gambling jag, I'll chew through my cheek like I do when you do coke, and you're just jawing.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
exact. It has to be the same chemical.
Dopamine or whatever the fuck it is that your body sends out when it feels good.
And I can stay up for fucking 4 days just to
That'll
beat
be-
this chink.
That'll be a big test if I drink or not at a blackjack
I think
table.
that'd be tough,
Because
man.
let me tell you, I've made some
Goes
pretty
together,
good
right?
money because I was betting a lot because I was drunk.
Yeah.
Right, but I that would actually be a good rehab. I've tried to figure out my own rehab if I wanted to quit everything. Jet skis. It boils down to jet skis.
Really?
I remember when in the early days where I could not imagine going more than 15 minutes without a cigarette. That's why I started taking Xanax on planes to sleep for the entire flight.
Because you wanted to
Torture
smoke.
to not smoke on a flight.
Right.
Yeah.
But there was a time where I was going through Lake Powell in Arizona on my way to Colorado driving, and I had time to kill, and I rented a jet ski by myself for 2 hours, and I just zipped around
Things are great,
fucking
yeah.
lake. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I go, I never wanted a cigarette once. For 2 hours, I never thought, oh, I got to stop jet skiing to have a cigarette.
Right.
And that's the nebulous. If you wanted to quit something and not think about it, well, what is it about jet skiing? Like that whole, what is it about that headspace, and how do you make that into something that
you just got jet
do-
ski 8 hours a day?
Or just make people stay on the water all the time so they smoke and get wet.
Oh yeah, just fucking plan some kind of heist like Heat with Robert De Niro. Where they didn't. Oh fuck, yeah, I'm in a shootout with the cops and Kevlar. I need a cigarette.
Yeah, you're not thinking about it.
You would think that's a time you would want a cigarette, but
Probably.
they didn't think about that.
No.
Those guys that actually did the Heat heist in L.A. with the Kevlar helmets.
That's
and
an
shit.
amazing scene.
It's
So,
fucking fantastic.
I need to
They
know
never
how.
wanted
I
a
need to know
cigarette,
how
and I
your.
bet they were smokers.
I need to know how your mom killed herself.
Pills.
She went with the pills.
Yeah, morphine.
Oh, wow.
I don't want it's one of those stories where you don't want to do the bit, but the bit is the story.
Right.
I think it's just an interesting story.
Well, what
I'm
happened?
sure.
She knew it was time, and we knew she was going to get to a point. She wouldn't stop smoking. In fact, we had quit smoking for almost a year at that point, and we had a last cigarette with Mother when she was killing herself.
Oh my God!
Wait, were you around when she did it?
Yeah. I was around. Again, there's legalities where you go, okay,
Right.
hey, this is a bit, by the way. It's just comedy.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know.
Well, let's just say this: were you shocked that she took pills, or maybe did you suspect she was going to?
No. You have to help some people move. Someone's going to move, and you have a pickup truck. You got to help. Someone's your mother. They're going to kill themselves. You have to do some research. I didn't buy her a shotgun.
Yeah.
You don't want to clean that
I didn't assist
up.
the suicide so much as bar back it, because at that point, that's where we were. She had been 4 years sober at the end. She went off, and she again, an ugly drunk. She left a suicide, not even a note, but a Post-it. We moved to Arizona. I said, Ma, we're going to get settled in. We'll move you out. She can't be in L.A. by herself. She was 63. Her head was around. Her body was failing. She was weak emotionally. So she called up a month and a half after we moved to Arizona, warbly, drunk. I don't take it. I don't want to buy my burden. I'm going to kill myself. So we have to drive 9.5 hours to L.A. in the middle of the night, get there in the morning. She had a suicide Post-it. Doug, I still have it. Doug, pain is too much.
Wow.
Not even a whole letter.
Wow.
So we got it, So we got her out there. So she rehabbed, but when she was going to kill herself, I'm going, you're not going to do this sober, right? That's dumb. You're ready to make this choice. I'll
tie one on.
That. She's fucking drowning alive.
How did she tell you she was going to kill herself? Was it a phone call?
No, it was. We know what's going to happen. She's either going to die or kill herself.
Right.
She'd been life flighted to Tucson twice, where they put a suction thing into your lungs. Yeah. She was so addicted to painkillers at that point that when I went to see her, one time we had to fly back from Costa Rica. They go, your mom's been life flighted the first time, and I went to see her at TMC, and she's got the thing down in her lungs. She can't talk. There's a tube in her fucking mouth, and she writes down Vicodin And I'm like, what am I going to put him in the tube? And she nods. Like, that's not really an option.
Wow.
Holy fuck. And she was not as stupid. You've met my mother.
Yeah, she was lovely.
Yeah, she
was in Vail the first time you and I met.
She's a fucking crazy truck driver mouth. Everyone thought she's adorable. Oh, your mother swears like a truck driver.
It's adorable.
I remember a fucking quote from her at Vail, and I think you were at the table. She always called you, he's like my son. I told him one time, yeah, Ma, it's like he doesn't remember you. That was fucking 15 years ago.
Wow.
James Inman, he's like my son. Yes, Ma.
You and I shared a room, and you had all of your possessions. That's my most defining memory of Doug is Doug with all of his possessions on his bed. Like, he wouldn't put anything.
I didn't have a home. I lived out of my car. So, yeah, you bring your shit in.
It's just bring it in indoors.
But not even in the drawers. Yeah, it was just all
just
on
laid
the bed.
out.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a fascinating.
95.
That's a fascinating story with your mom. That's amazing. And then you guys were around that actual day, or?
Yeah. Well, she came to the house, and I laid down ground rules, and this is in the bit, but it's true. I said, because she had balked at suicide so many times over her life, just, for need for someone to, hey, I'm going to, she tried to kill herself, like, with aspirin or whatever. When she was young, she'd talk about, but, so I know it's serious, but at the same time, is this a ploy just to get over to my house from your hoarder paradise in the other side of Bisbee, Arizona? And so I said, if you're going to kill yourself for real, you can't do it Sunday or Monday because that's football. It's an actual conversation. Like, if you can call your own time to leave this fucking world, you don't do it during someone else's party on purpose just to be a dick.
Right.
And you have to do it 2 weeks from now because that's when my manager is coming down and he has no sense of humor about, oh, your mother's going to kill yourself. So I gave her a time period. Otherwise, you go back to... And, yeah, she killed herself. It was Thursday she came in. She killed herself on the Saturday night. We watched Bad Santa together, favorite movie. And she choked down 90 morphine tablets, and the details are...
Wow.
Yeah, and we made up White Russians. So she's choking them down with White Russians. We had a party. We fucking roasted her. We made fun of her. We made it into a goof. It was the most beautiful death. Like, Ma, wait, they found a cure. It's one of the jokes, but it was an actual quote. And she's like giving us the finger, like laughing.
Holy shit, I'm blown away.
Between I was a bad mother and then just laughing. And it was,
What did you think the minute that she shut down? Like, when she finally closed her eyes and you knew it was done? Well...
It's funny because we kind of shut down before she did completely.
Oh, you passed out at
a fucking 83-pound, 63-year-old woman fucking drank us under the table. where she was gone, but she was still breathing. And
right.
And then we start playing music, which she hated music, but she's not there. She's not bitching about it. She's too far gone. So we crank up some Counting Crows. Fuck you, I like them.
You do like the Counting Crows,
yes.
Huh?
And then we just like
then who do you call? There's so many questions here. I don't know what you want to talk about. The saddest
part is my mother at 63 had pushed so many. We called my brother while she was doing it so she could say goodbye. He knows it's going to happen. Well, okay, it's actually happening. She calls my brother, goodbye, and there was no one else to call. She pushed so many people out of her life by being such a miserablist that there was nobody. How are you 63 years old and you die? And there was no obituary or gravestone. We gave her body to science, whatever fucking institution has the program where you don't have, because I'm not fucking burying someone. It's dumb. Paxton, Massachusetts.
Except for
fucking Boston bomber. We have a plot for you. Plug.
So
wait. My plug. I plugged Doug Stanhope CelebrityDeathPool.com. Please, that's another whole story. Most fun I've ever had gambling. But that's Doug Stanhope's. Go find that. And yeah.
Wait. So now your mom's dead. So who you call the next day?
Oh, to take care of the
I don't know
business,
what you want to talk about, so shut me down anytime you want.
No, these are like the story is so detailed that when I try to make it into a bit, it was just all right. Now it's 20 minutes of you talking about your dead mother. Get to the point. But that was one of the funny things. Bingo, she came to our house and they set up a hospital bed in hospice care, set up a hospital bed in the living room. So, and I had a friend that would change her catheter when because I'm not touching my mother's vagina.
Right.
I don't have. I gave birth to you. Well, I didn't ask you to.
Yeah.
I'll get someone to do it.
Plus, who needs to fucking realize at that moment, like, wow, this is fantastic.
8.2% unemployment rate in Cochise County. I can find someone to fucking change a Foley bag. So when she's gone, but she's still like
breathing.
Oh, she's breathing, but she's gone. But she's breathing. And then we've been drinking White Russians with her, and we'd already taken Xanax before she decided it's time to go. And we're like, oh, fuck. Finally, we pass out, and a caretaker called the paramedics. A hospice patient has died. The paramedics came in and tried to take Bingo's body because she's passed out on the couch. We have an L-shaped couch. So I'm on one side of the L, she's on the other. Right. My mother's in a hospital bed, and they go directly to Bingo thinking she's a corpse.
Holy shit.
And I don't want to say her name, but the caretaker is like, it's her. And they were outside in sheer blushing embarrassment that they accidentally went for
a living girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to
Anyway, the caretaker stayed up through the night till she was dead. Well, we were just like, all right, I'm tired of waiting for it. I'll crash. She'll be dead at some point. I'll wake up. So we woke up to the paramedics taking her out.
But emphysema would have been, that's why Kevorkian, I mean, it was something merciful.
You're drawing your own
that
fluids.
Would have been what exactly does it, I mean, I know
it's like being waterboarded.
It just stops your lungs from working? Or
they can't pump the fluids anymore.
You can breathe, but there's no oxygen getting into your system.
Right.
Yeah, just gums up your fucking...
edema, right? I guess... I think it's officially edema.
But it's an awful death.
My dad was heading that way, and he ended up dying in a car accident. But he was heading toward drowning in his own fluids.
That's what I'm hoping for, car accident.
Because your heart's too weak to pump out everything, and you start getting swollen and all that shit.
Yeah,
it's horrible way to go, man.
I quit 10 years ago. I just had a moment of clarity on the radio show, and I went down the Comedy Cellar. We were still smoking back then, and Esty, who ran the cellar. I'm like, I'm going to quit smoking. And she marched me to the fucking thing and got me the patch. And for some reason, I did it the way the patch suggested over 21 days, and it worked. Like, I just drank a lot of fucking water, and I put some weight on, but I'm fucking really happy.
You're really good at following directions.
Sometimes, you know what? With some things I really am. With other things, I've been absolutely atrocious. The things I followed directions on, miraculously, they worked. And I stopped doing the things I did it my way. Well, I'm still spending, fucking $3,000 a week on fucking burgers. Dude.
No directions with them.
So yeah, it's terrible.
I'm so happy I have no sex drive whatsoever. it's as freeing as you not smoking or drinking.
Yeah.
Really?
I feel
Nothing?
like not needing pussy. It's been a deficit when it comes to the act.
That to?
Like, I don't work as much because I don't feel the need to be that good.
What do you attribute the lack of sex drive to? What is it?
I have no idea.
Really?
But it's
Is it with your girl or just in general?
No. It's what I don't want to say especially my girl, but my entire life. There's nothing that's as more depressing that I fucked you already. Like, the whole thrill of pussy for me was that I hadn't, I got it. Like, it was an accomplishment. It was knocking down all the milk jugs at the fucking carnival,
Right.
3 balls for $1. Oh, fucking, I got this one with 1 ball. I fucking nailed this.
You don't have to do it again.
Exactly. But there was an emptiness to the whole idea of fucking. I remember tripping the only time I did mescaline in the desert, where I'm thinking, like, that, it's so sad when you're in love with someone and that's the first way you want to show them how much that you. I can't wait to just fucking jizz all over your pubic region. It's the most beautiful feeling in your soul to be in love, and the most disgusting way to display it. Isn't there something else we can do?
You're kind of right.
God,
other than have a wedding, some dumb shit.
It really doesn't match up now, does it?
Just fucking
That's
loop
really
some
funny.
fucking scum out of you.
I love you so much that I'm just going to pump this fucking fluid.
Exactly. Some rubber cement into your belly button hair.
I'm going to cough up phlegm and fucking spit it in an orifice of yours. Fucking stringy.
You've earned my spermatozoa. Yeah.
My lumpies.
My fucking
stringy.
shiz.
What a great bit.
Because then you realize, like, wow, I didn't love you at all.
That's the worst. I think Joe Rogan used to call it post-cum syndrome or something. But that feeling as soon as you come, it's not even done spilling out of you, and you're like, oh, this is a what did I? Oh, I'm gonna.
What was I watching on TV before this got started? Yeah, you're like, because let me go right back to the television.
We got a great question.
If Norton and I just did that same load, him on the pig's face and me on her ass, and made eye contact, I'd run for a bottle and he'd go to a meeting to share, and then he'd make amends with her a few years later.
Two ways to look
just
at
whack it out, and we'd go on the air. Remember that one girl? No, I don't.
I'd apologize for both of us. Like, Doug would say he was sorry if he was capable.
We learned today there's two ways to look at it.
Yep.
Hey, Dane in Boston wants to know why comedians have addictive personalities. So many of the good ones have.
That's true.
So many of the good ones do.
Such a remnant of the fucking 90s being. Even Attell quit drinking like 5 years ago, and that who's left?
I think most comics I know are addicted to something, and maybe part of it is that there's a certain personality where you're always grabbing for shit, whether it's information or whatever. But there's also an availability and an acceptance. Like with comics, like
who's a comic that's still fucked up?
Not even fucked. I'm saying addicted personality doesn't even mean just booze. A lot of them don't drink, but they still smoke.
It could be sex,
or
it could
sexually,
be food,
or gambling.
Right.
Like most people I know have something either in their past or in their present, and I think part of it is like nothing. Like, we're having this conversation about drinking and stuff, but Doug's drinking vodka, and in our job, I'm not like, oh, my God, Doug's drinking vodka. Like, no one gives a fuck. It's a very accepted profession to do almost anything you want.
But why is that?
But that's also, I think, why a lot of people don't anymore. Like, okay, I did that. I don't do that anymore. Once I realized I could, like, when you can, there's I can do that. It's like when you find out you can smoke in an airport. Nothing makes me want to stop quitting smoking if I've quit, but you can smoke somewhere you shouldn't. I'm going to do it this time. I'm in Denver. They have a smoking lounge. I've come off the fucking smoking wagon. But
I don't know any comics that aren't addicted to something. If they're not actively drinking, they're still alcoholics who have quit. I don't know any that are fucking I can think of.
I know nothing but sober comics. I saw Craig. Let's just say a comic named Craig, and I was so happy he was drinking last night. He's in the green room. I'm like, I don't want to feel like a dick because I was hammered last night.
Somebody's drinking. Yeah.
I can't think of one guy. I'm sure there's plenty, but I just don't know any that are close friends. Like Bob Kelly, sober. I mean, but he's still,
Tom Rhodes, I know, is still a fuck up, but he's
Oh, does he drink? Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, well. He's a guy that I'm like, oh, thank God.
Chris Rock, I don't know Chris that well. I know him casually from the cellar, but I've never seen him doing anything that I could think of. I've never heard that he was a hard drinker or a gambler or anything. So unless he's got stuff I just don't know.
It used to be like when I'd come to the city, I'd go to the cellar, and because they have a table outside, you could smoke, and I'd have cocktails, and there'd be some comics hanging around drinking. And over the last 4 or 5 years, if I go down there, I'm just like, I'm like a homeless guy. I'm like, I'm busking for a fucking drinking partner. Anyone?
Yeah, come on. Make me feel better about myself.
Yeah. Colin, I don't know how many years I knew Colin peripherally where I'd go, hey, you want to do a shot or something? He'd go, how many times do I have to tell you don't drink? I quit drinking a long time. He's like, he just seems like.
He seems like the kind of guy that would be drinking.
Colin has a still drinking voice.
Yes.
Like when you talk to Colin, you're like, he has to be fucking
drinking and smoking. He sounds like, yeah.
He has a homeless guy voice. Keith Robinson drinks at the cellar. There's not as many guys in because people are getting older. So as people get older, they're not even addicted people, just the process of elimination as you get older is people begin dropping dead, and that gives everybody a fucking like mortality check. Like, you know what I mean? Like Geraldo. It's like, Geraldo is a fucking vital, brilliant comic, and like he's just gone. And you're like, oof.
But he was one of those revolving door guys, as they call him in the program, where he'd go fucking completely rehab, and then you're like, you did used to be a lawyer. I see that in you.
Yeah.
And then I never saw Crazy him, but I do remember I was really fucked up at Montreal. One of the times I did Just for Spite Festival, the first time, and fucking that cunt guy that used to run it, He threw me out of a green room. Just long story. But yeah, I was fucked up, and I just got chucked out, and I see Geraldo and 2 other comics, and I'm drunk, but I was right. That's one of the problems with being correct but drunk is if you're drunk and slurring, you look like you're wrong.
Right,
but
no matter what you're doing.
I was completely right, just my motor skills. If I had cerebral palsy and I explained the same story, I would get sympathy. But because I'm talking like this a bit, I'm slurring. But I was definitely right, and I had sober witnesses that corroborated the next day. But I'm trying to tell Geraldo what just happened in this fucking green room with, I can't remember that cunt's name, that guy that ran it. He'd come backstage and give you notes about your set and passive aggressively tell you what you might do differently.
Oh my God.
I think this bit worked better. I'm a fucking.
Fuck you.
I'm a veteran, you cunt. I'm not taking your advice. I'm not a new face. Anyway, Geraldo went, that reminds me of why I went to rehab. And I'm like, all right, don't fucking do that to me, you fucking asshole. Just because I'm... and then he died, and I took a little bit of, like, that's why I fucking... Yeah, that's why I went to rehab.
Holy shit.
If you were there.
Last time I saw...
Ron White. Ron White was there. Ron White is a comic who's still fucked up.
Oh, boy, is he?
Fantastic at it.
Yeah, he's very funny.
Yeah.
Fucking... It rolls. It's like, I have a friend in Bisbee that looks exactly like Charles Bukowski. Spitting image. And I have a friend that I started comedy with that lives in Seattle that looks just like Dr. Drew. And if I could put them together, if I knew that my Bukowski friend could act, I'd love to. What would fucking... I think we might have talked about this. What would fucking Dr. Drew say to Hunter S. Thompson?
Right.
If you're fantastic like Ron White is at, he's made his disease, if you would, as you would call it, his art. What would fucking Dr. Drew say to fucking Dean Martin?
I don't know.
You can do this. It's a crutch. Like, come on. Fucking look at the icons of drug use, abuse, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And what is Dr. Drew going to say to that? You want to see that?
To
you
Hendrix?
want to see fucking Hendrix on fucking Celebrity Rehab? Are you going to say, Dr. Drew does have some good points here?
Probably, yeah, because he died at 27, so obviously he didn't know that much.
Well, exactly. And you go, you know what? Yeah, you're doing kind of pop now. But we still love you, Jimmy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, you could do that without the drugs. Okay, the new album's a little soft.
Jimmy's
but
trying
it's
to
okay,
rap.
because it's better to have you alive, Hendrix.
Yeah.
With Dr. Drew.
But the thing is, Dr. Drew would be a dick for doing that if he went up to people who were performing right after a great show and said, hey.
Randomly tweeting that Lindsey Lohan, he would have her arrested. You want to go Dr. Drew?
Yeah.
He fucking tweets that if I would have her arrested to save her from herself, like saying set her up and put her in prison. He's offering unsolicited advice to stars all the time, talking about them. He's on every fucking news show talking about, oh, this is what they have to do. You're a doctor. You're not their doctor, you fucking asshole. He is doing that.
But that's where he's like the celebrity thing, and I get that.
And that's what he would do to Hendrix.
But Lindsey Lohan should be arrested because she's fucking... The thing is, I think the point with Lindsey Lohan is she's fucking... Anybody else would get arrested for doing that shit. She's fucking just ignoring court order after court order, and this pussy prosecution, they won't do anything about it. So she should be arrested because she's breaking the law.
He was suggesting that she be fucking set up and put it, like, yeah, just go to her, rat her out, basically.
But did he say set up?
Intervention.
Did he say set up? Or did he say just for breaking the court order?
Again, it was to that effect. I'd have to make him go back to the fucking Google net to make sure.
Google net.
Again, we're comics. I don't have to be factually accurate. This is not a court of law. But the gist of it, if I found it, would be, yeah.
That's the gist of it.
He had to actually publicly come out and go, that's not what I was suggesting. He had to actually, take it back.
Right.
Take it back, Drew. Take it back. Okay, take that one back. I didn't really mean specifically.
Well, we're at the end of the show here, Doug.
No, we're not. This show goes on.
Well,
it goes on with Sam.
One shot of vodka if you have a juice or a soda mixer.
Sam will continue with you with the after show
with Sam Roberts.
And he does a great job.
I've never been invited to the fucking the after party at the Stern thing.
Oh, no.
They don't like me over there.
Why
Hey,
not?
how do you guys, I wanted to ask, just randomly, what do you guys think about Phil Hendry?
I like Phil.
I fucking think Phil
I like
is...
Phil Hendry a lot.
is
I'd
fucking
have him over here in a
fantastic.
second if we could figure
Every
that
time
out.
I'm on radio, there's such a braggadocio in radio that you're afraid to bring up another radio.
Oh, no,
I know. What? That's so
like you wouldn't.
up.
Yeah.
Phil
How dare you mention Patrice? I'm here.
Phil Hendry is brilliant.
Yeah.
Phil Hendry is
He's
one of
brilliant.
the fucking driving on the road, which we've been doing. He has his show as a podcast,
Right.
which is fucking. And I love an 8-hour drive between gigs just listening to fucking Hendry.
I've never heard him. I've heard of him. I heard he's great.
Fucking absolutely.
He's crazy. He has to be crazy to pull off.
Because it's a
totally
show.
different.
Right.
Well, it's completely unique. No one is doing anything.
Ventriloquism on the air.
No one is doing
where he
anything
is
close to
both
what
the
he's
caller
doing.
And
Right.
the straight guy.
He's the straight guy. He's the guest, and then he's the callers yelling at the guest.
No, the goof is the callers that are just.
He mixes them in. There's
he'll
there's
mix
real
guests
callers.
into,
Right.
But the whole goof is he has the guest has the most outrageous. I believe that we have a petition drive to get the names of the 9/11 hijackers on the memorial wall because they did die as well.
Right.
Are you telling me? So he's doing this ventriloquist act where he's the most, and it's the goof is the people who don't know it's a goof.
Oh, my God, calling in.
I'm outraged.
Right.
I've never heard this show before, but I'm outraged.
How does he get them on
ramp it up?
How does he get those casual people on a podcast now? That's got to be hard.
No. It's a podcast is the best of the radio.
The radio show, yeah.
So, yeah.
He's a legendary guy. I've just never listened to his show. I've heard he's really, really great.
There are times he's the callers as well.
He'll do that. He'll use other guests.
Right.
I know him by heart now.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, he'll do like 2 characters at once with the guest.
And for the longest time, he didn't tell anyone that he was doing the guests. He just wanted people to believe this was an actual person. Now he doesn't care as much.
Well, now he's on like fucking.
And the word's out, but it still works.
11 to 1 Pacific time, syndicated on AM.
Mm-hmm. Why such a weird? Was there just not a call for what he did anymore, or what happened?
No, they just wanted that fucking
he has
bullshit radio.
The only way it works is if he's on a station that is AM talk radio, where that's not the market for comedy. So, I don't know why.
Wow, yeah.
All I know is fucking he's got
brilliant.
15 years of backlog shit on the.
He owns it all,
right.
so he's smart.
Just tell me to leave because I just keep.
No, it's
talking.
cool.
No, our show's done. But
Doug
Doug is-
Stanhope on Twitter.
Yes.
Doug Stanhope tonight at
The
BB
fucking
King's.
the cemetery plot. That's a for real offer. If anyone has gotten back to me, DougStanhope.com. Contact me if you want to bury a terrorist in Paxton, Massachusetts, where those cocksuckers deserve
You got
one.
some real estate. There it is.
Got it. Plot
Anyone
is
else?
waiting. Bought and paid for.
Yes.
Anyone else?
I think that's it.
I'll be in Utah Friday, Saturday, and Jacksonville the week after.
Ooh.
Jacksonville is cool, too.
I've never done that gig.
Never been to Jacksonville?
No, I canceled it
Doing
once
comedy?
for TV or something, and now that I'm looking at ticket sales, I'm like, why did I ever cancel this?
Oh. Okay. He's-
I didn't play
Sarcasm.
that club. The Comedy Zone?
Oh, I think so.
played that once, like, when we met that back then. Yeah, but I went back and played my own gig. Fucking great scene.
I probably should have
Great
done
guys.
that. One available ticket after another.
Oh.
Lining up. Lots of available tickets. Oh, it hurts.
Doug, this was great.
Yeah. Thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
Always love having you in.
I'm always
Absolutely.
fucking drinking from now on.
Doug Stanhope, everyone.